So, if I was new to the gym and I wasn't sure where to get started, the first thing that I would do is 10 minutes on the Stairmaster at level 8.
I did personal training for around 10 months, and my trainer would always get me to warm up on the Stairmaster before my workouts. And warming up your body is just really crucial for preventing injuries, improving your flexibility before your workout, and increasing blood flow to your muscles so you feel ready for your workout.
So then after warming up on the Stairmaster, I do a few dynamic stretches right before I get into my exercises.
There is conflicting research on how beneficial dynamic stretching can be, but I find that it really helps to get me in the zone and just feel more prepared for my workout. So I always do a few dynamic stretches before I get into my first exercise.
My gym doesn't have a hip thrust machine, so I'm going to set up the hip thrust exercise by myself without using the machine. I'm just going to use a barbell and some weights.
So I start my leg day with doing compound exercises first, and compound exercises are exercises that work several muscle groups simultaneously. So I'm starting with hip thrust. When I did personal training, this was always the first exercise that my trainer would get me to do. But also, I just saw a big difference in my results when I started integrating hip thrusts into my workout routine. And hip thrusts are really good at just targeting your glutes and your hamstrings. And for me personally, they're one of the hardest exercises that I find to do. So I like to just get them out of the way while I have the energy to do so. Versus like if I save hip thrust for the end, I literally have no energy. So after setting up for the hip thrust, I bring the bar towards me, and I learned in training that my fingertips should be able to touch my feet. That's a good place to position your feet. So you can see in the video, I'm making sure that my fingertips can touch the edge of my shoes. And I'm doing 4 sets of 10 reps, and I have been increasing the weight that I'm using, which is called progressive overload. So around each week, I increase the amount that I have on the bar, and this is what allows your muscles to grow stronger and adapt. And you really need to be increasing the weight in order to challenge your muscles. I find that when I'm not increasing the weight, it doesn't really feel like I'm having a hard workout. Versus when I do increase the weight, it's like I feel like I was challenged. I feel like I had a good workout. I feel like I'm seeing the results. So progressive overload and consistently, continuously increasing the weight that you're using is really crucial for muscle development. Then the following exercise is paused hip thrusts. So I hold the barbell up for 3 seconds before coming back down. And I do 4 sets of these with 8 reps in each set. And I'm using the exact same weight that I used in the previous exercise. I'm just holding this weight for longer. So the next exercise is Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats are really effective at targeting your glute muscles, your hamstrings, and your quads. And I do 4 sets of 10 repetitions on each leg. And you need to make sure that you're driving down your knee as you lunge forward. And I increase the weight that I have in my hand when it's no longer challenging. And now the next exercise is Romanian deadlifts using dumbbells. And RDLs are very, very effective at targeting your hamstrings and also your glutes. And I do 4 sets of 10 repetitions. And while I do the RDLs, I try my best to push my hips backwards as if I'm trying to touch a wall behind me, while also trying to keep my back as straight as possible. And then I finish off my leg day with isolation exercises. So these are exercises that target a single muscle group. So in this case, I am doing glute kickbacks. And this, as you can tell by the name, is specifically targeting my glute muscles. And as you can see in the video, I put one of my feet into the strap, and this is the foot that I will be kicking back, whereas the other foot will be helping to balance. Also, kickbacks are a really effective isolation exercise to do because they target all 3 of your glute muscles. So they target your maximus, your minimus, and your medius muscles, as well as your hamstrings. So they're just a really effective lower body workout to add to your exercise routine, your workout routine. And I do 3 sets of 15 reps on each leg. And similar to my other exercises, I progressively increase the weight so that my muscles are continuously challenged. And then my very last exercise in this leg day routine is kettlebell swings into kettlebell squats. So kettlebell swings are very powerful exercises that target your glutes, your muscles, your lower back, and your core muscles. And this exercise is performed by hinging at your hips and swinging the kettlebell through your legs and pushing through your heels and using your hamstrings and your glute muscles to thrust the kettlebell back. And you can see in my reflection in the mirror that my feet are wide apart, which allows me to go into these sumo squats, which I do 3 of. And I repeat this set 2 more times.
And then I always finish my workouts with at least 10 minutes on the Stairmaster at level 10. I'm going to do 15 minutes today, but yeah, I never leave the gym without doing like 10 minutes level 10 on the Stairmaster. And then to cool down, I'll either like go on a walk, or if I'm not going to go to yoga, I'll go to like a room in the gym and just like stretch my body for a few minutes and then go on a walk.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful and you learned something from it.